Welcome to episode 94 of the Curios Cast, a Christmas special. We're bringing you joy, cheer, and a Christmas intro.
Yeah, it was much more festive than usual, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Merry Christmas, boys.
Bit too festive, if anything.
Hope everyone's having a nice, joyous time this time of year. Yeah. Rob, before we started recording, you were talking about a time it snowed somewhere.
Yeah, well, I was saying, do you remember hearing about it? It snowed. People sometime it snowed. All these
boring couple of cunts. Really.
All these people got trapped in a pub with a Oasis cover band.
Oh yeah, I have heard that.
They were there for like
a week or something.
3 nights, maybe 3 nights, 4 days. Yeah. Maybe it was a week. Yeah. I think that'd be jokes though, wouldn't it?
It'd be fun. Yeah.
It's worst places to get stuck
as well. Not in the snow.
I've been to that pub. Yeah, what was it? Did you say?
Oh, I haven't been.
Tan Hill.
Yeah, because you can stay.
I think it's the highest pub in England. Maybe not in the UK, but in England.
Well, I think you can stay there in your camper van as well.
Yeah,
I don't have
like
a
campsite bit outside.
Yeah.
You should go there. So it's very nice. Nice part of the country. Don't go in winter though, because you might never leave. Well, then you'd be the band. You'd be, just make sure you've got a guitar in the back.
Got a guitar, yeah, sorted.
It's like a week's worth of gigs.
I wonder if they gave him cheap. I think they didn't they give him like cheap beer? Obviously, they couldn't just give away the beer.
I think they gave him food, like discounted food and shit.
Yeah,
that'd be right.
That's my dream, to be like snowbound in like a pub.
I know, it's
like
a classic, isn't it? Yeah, it's a classic. I think we've said about this said about this before, where a guy I don't know if it's true or just one of those things that people say is like there was like a lion loose, like legitimately there was like a loose lion that got out from some local zoo, and he had to days when you like borrow the pub phone, he had to like borrow the pub phone and like call his wife and be like, I'm trapped in the pub because there's a lion on the loose. She's like, fuck off, don't come home. Yeah, it's a similar thing. I'm trapped in the pub, I'm snowed in the pub. It's like, bullshit, you're snowed in the pub.
Ain't there that story of like, didn't the Queen get stuck in like a snowstorm in Scotland or something and had to like hunker down in this pub or whatever? And
really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a story like that. And she wasn't there for days at a time, but basically it was not safe to travel by car. So she was going from one place to another and they just went, fuck, we can't get through this. The road's blocked off, whatever. And had to go into a pub. And she just...
Imagine that, if she was just
walks
there,
in, yeah.
half cut and the Queen bowls it in. Like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They emptied the rest of the people out and say, no, fuck off, out in the snowstorm, you can't be in the Queen's
probably, yeah, you can't get out.
Apparently she just like hung out with everyone and
she get the rounds in.
There's an article here. Queen Elizabeth II took refuge in a Gloucestershire pub during blizzard. It was in 1981. Some guy called Phil got stuck in the snow on the A46 and then Her Majesty's car pulled up behind him. The driver got out and looked, but then got back in and drove away. Oh, that's not a good story. Drove away. He's like, yeah, I could have been there, but I wasn't. I drove away. But yeah.
How does he know it was the Queen's car if they just drove off?
Don't know, he said a big black Ford Granada and a Range Rover stopped behind us. Must have been the Queen.
Yeah.
Maybe after the fact he realised
It was that, yeah. So unknown to them, it was the Queen. She had to shelter in the Cross Hands Hotel. But yeah, apparently she just stayed for like a few hours and sort of like chatted with everybody and had a good time, I guess.
The Queen basically left that guy abandoned on the...
they did. Fucked off with that guy. Yeah, he's stranded. Fucking leave him.
Yeah. I mean, that must have been a good... because now if that happened, people would be posting it on... Well, she's dead, so it wouldn't happen. But people would be posting it on... everywhere saying the Queen's at the pub and you wouldn't be able to do it, and hopefully she'd have enough security there to like hold the place down, but because it happened in the 80s, like people just, the Queen walks in, it's like, oh,
Queen's here.
You have to go home and tell your mates or your missus or whatever,
and they're like, bullshit,
Queen was at the pub this morning.
No such thing as photo where it didn't happen. It would be I guess I believe you that it happened. We take things on face value in the 80s.
Well, me and Lynn were in Yorkshire recently. We went for a pub dinner like up in the Dale somewhere. It was in this little pub.
Lovely.
And on the wall, there was a picture of the President and First Lady of Lesotho, who had been to this pub in the middle of nowhere for dinner.
Of where?
Lesotho, which is in Africa, I think, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's an enclave within South Africa.
South Africa, yeah.
Yeah.
But what a weird, like, presidential couple to have on your wall.
Yeah, that is random.
Lesotho.
I love it when you get things like that, where like you get like some random goes and spends, not some random, some big celebrity rather goes and spends time in like a little random village pub. I think it was like what's his name that people do all like the memes about? I'm sure there's fucking loads from Con Air. From Con Air.
Donald Trump.
No, Con Air.
Oh, I know
Nick
exactly
Cage.
what you mean. Yeah.
Nick Cage, Nicolas Cage. I'm pretty sure it was Nicolas Cage. Like, just wandered into like an English pub, like a little, like I think he owns a house in like maybe like Gloucestershire or like somewhere like that,
nice.
or Yorkshire, somewhere like remote and nice. And he just wandered in for like New Year's Eve one day to like this pub and just like bought everyone drinks and just like had a laugh. And
I thought that'd be like the best thing about
That's why he's
being
bankrupt.
famous. Like if he was famous, obviously you couldn't do it if you was insanely famous. Like if you're fucking like Ed Sheeran or something, like you can't just turn up. You can't turn up anywhere. But if you're famous enough, like Nick Cage is someone who, I don't know, if he was at a pub, there wouldn't be thousands of people coming knocking on the door.
Yeah, but it would be like, I know who this.
Very almost much everyone in the pub knows who he is.
Yeah.
And you could probably be like, yeah, I'm me. Like, whatever. I'm going to buy everyone some drinks.
Do you want a beer?
Yeah, we do the Curios Cast. Yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah, I do get my dick and balls out when I piss. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Speaking of that, last night I was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Warzone with a friend, and his friend said that he also gets his cock and bollocks out when he has a piss. Because the friend asked him,
was this person someone who's been on the podcast before?
It's the friend, Luke. In fact, it was Luke.
Yeah,
I can confirm because he's been on the podcast.
because I was
so
talking
one of
to
his
him.
friends. One of his friends said, I also get cock and balls out, and his reasoning was that it doesn't interrupt flow. You get a better pressure if you cock and bollocks out, which makes sense. So that's probably the best reasoning I've heard so far.
But I don't know if that makes sense. Not if you get your cock and balls out through the fly, because that restricts pressure. That restricts flow. Yeah, but then it's got nothing to do with it.
Well, because the reason
stored in the balls.
The reason I switched from cock and balls just to cock was because I'd always just done cock and balls, and I don't know why, but I just that was just how I'd done it as a kid, and I never stopped. And then one day, I must have been wearing some tight jeans or something, but I got my cock and balls out, and it was pushing up against the underside of my cock and balls, and it was like cutting off the flow.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll just leave the balls in, and then that's like less. It's less to get out, so you can fit it in a smaller gap, right? Yeah. So, and then the pressure was gone, and then I remember thinking, why don't I just do this all the time? And then I thought, I wonder if other people know about this. You can keep your balls in.
Yeah, that's good. Anyway, as festive as cock and balls,
Christmassy weird news.
Yeah.
Who's going first?
How do we get to cock and balls?
How do we
just comes up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
I can go first. Mine's very short.
Yes.
Short and sweet.
No, we're not talking about your cock and balls anymore, George.
So this is it's from a few years ago. I feel like maybe we've discussed this in the depths of the Curios Cast. This might be one from the archives. Okay. I'm not too sure. But this is a story from 2019. And it is the headline is Walmart apologizes for Christmas jumper showing Santa doing cocaine. And it is
I don't remember this.
A Christmas jumper.
Yeah.
Let me show you the photograph. Or photograph, because I'm sure that will trigger you, Rob. It's me saying things wrong again. Photograph.
Photograph.
People can say photograph.
Yeah, people can say photograph.
People that are like,
so you can't say rant or rant.
But no one says rant. I think I do remember you saying that. Like, no way is that real.
See, it vaguely, it's got like a memory. It's unlocking a memory in my head, this jumper.
Yeah,
so maybe I've just seen it somewhere at the time.
I don't think I've ever. I haven't seen this, so I don't think we've spoke about it before.
Okay.
It'll be up on a screen for people watching, but for people
it's
listening.
fucking amazing. I want it.
Yeah, it's just like a little. It's a blue Christmas jumper with an image of a sofa in front of it. This weird looking Santa. He looks like Mr. Blobby, but Santa. And then on a table in front of him, 3 lines clearly indicating cocaine, and it says underneath, "Let it snow."
Yeah,
that's festive. Can't deny it's not festive.
His eyes are buzzing.
But yeah, so Walmart Canada. I know. Yeah, he's gone for it.
He's already.
He is letting it snow.
Yeah. Unintended.
Yes, Walmart Canada has issued an apology for selling a jumper on its site that appears to show Santa Claus doing cocaine. The item of clothing shows St. Nicholas sitting behind a table with 3 lines of a white substance in front of him, captioned with the slogan, "Let it snow." The product's description states, "We all know how snow works. It's white, powdery, and the best snow comes straight from South America. That's bad news for jolly old St. Nick, who lives far away in the North Pole. That's why Santa really likes to savour the moment when he gets his hand on some quality grade A Colombian snow." How did they think they were going to get away with this?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I like to think like someone from the company sort of hacked the Walmart website in some, like not like literally hacked it, but like they've obviously snuck it through somehow. Like someone's knew what they were doing, putting that on there. There's no way, like.
Yeah, there's no way that can be
like
interpreted as anything else.
Yeah. Like someone's snuck that under the radar. They haven't realised what it is, or
Yeah, it does say underneath that it says they're sold by a third-party seller, so it's like a they host as well as like the Walmart stuff. They also host like a web shop that other people can sell shit. But I would have thought they'd have like quality control, but maybe it just slipped through the whatever stuff they've got in place to stop it.
This is a great Christmas jumper of a similar vein that I've just found whilst looking for that one. I'm sure it can be up on screen. It's a cat in a snowstorm with like buzzing eyes, and it says cocaine, but in like the Coke writing, and it's cocaine everywhere. And then
that's a good Christmas jumper. I like that.
It's really good, isn't it? Yeah, I really like it.
Like that's actually made. It's made quite well. Well,
yeah, it does look like decent,
the picture's good.
Yeah, there's another one that's like black and white. That one's even. I think that one's better. It's not black and white, but it's obviously the exact same thing, just a slightly different design. It's probably the sort of thing you can't really. You can't copyright it, can you? Because it's already in breaching copyright.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, so it looks like that. The cocaine one, the Let It Snow. Like you say, it says, third-party sellers are able to make products available on Walmart Marketplace. It says a portal on which customers. Okay, I would have said in which, but yeah, I guess a portal on which Walmart can approve sellers who use its website. Would you say on a portal or in a portal? Because
on.
Yeah, I guess because you are on like the website, but I think of a portal as something you go through, so you'd go in the portal. But
yeah.
I guess I
suppose it depends.
It's like fucking 50 quid
usage.
I found it finally, and it's like 50 quid.
The Let It Snow one or the cocaine one?
The Let It Snow one. The only one I found is like exactly like that. Yeah. The cocaine cat one's 50 quid, but the Let It Snow one's also 50 quid. But again, it does look good quality though.
Well, there's some other ones. So the retailer Funwear, the people that created this, they've got other items that at the time of posting this, 2019, were still available, including a jumper depicting a mugshot of Santa Claus, a sweatshirt featuring an illustration of Santa engaged in a fight with a bear, and a Hanukkah sweatshirt designed with a menorah and captioned with the slogan "Lit." So they're obviously trying to
what's this got to do with
cover
Christmas?
all their bases.
I found one that says Epstein didn't kill himself, and he's Epstein with the Christmas hat on. Like, why would anyone have that? I guess it's like a bad taste Christmas jumper, innit? I guess.
Yeah, it's just like a.
This one's
items
mad.
Of clothing, including a sweatshirt that showed Father Christmas standing in front of a fireplace without his trousers on, removed from the Walmart Canada website.
This one's mad as well. So it says, this is on CNN website. It's not the first time this holiday season that a third-party seller has brought scrutiny to a major online retailer. Earlier in December, Amazon pulled Christmas ornaments depicting the Auschwitz concentration camp. So someone,
Jesus.
I guess you could have like basically upload an image and it puts that into a Christmas ornament, so you can put anything in there. Yeah, automated e-commerce landscape. So I think you could just upload any image and they would put that into a Christmas ornament for you.
So people intentionally did like the worst thing they could fucking...
Yeah. I mean, it could have been worse. It is literally just a picture of Auschwitz. It's like...
Well, yeah, I mean...
It could.
I think saying it could have been worse is still quite bad.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a picture like of the building, and it's a modern photo. It's not like they've taken a picture from the 1940s where there's actually like people there and stuff. Like that could have been worse. But
this is a great ornament.
Yeah, don't do that.
Did you see the one I sent? That's really good. Like an actual ornament you can get. So it's like a bauble, but it looks like snow
with cocaine in
which
it.
is also cocaine with like a dollar in it rolled up.
That is good. Yeah,
that's really good, isn't it? Imagine buying that for like your mum to put on her tree. Like that'd be really funny.
Yeah. Especially if it's like an elderly person who doesn't really get the joke, that doesn't know what it is. It's just $1 in the snow.
Yeah. Mum, I got you this. I remember once, that just reminded me of like, you know those things you get there, like a cup. And I don't suppose you get them anymore because they're probably unsafe as shit. But they were like a cup. And this was like a Disney one. And it was almost like a snow globe, but inside the cup. So you'd sort of pour it, and it was like liquid, and stuff would move in like the walls of the cup.
Okay, yeah, I get
quite
that.
Quite a 90s thing,
like
I suppose.
Double lined kind of thing.
You
used to have like aquarium stuff
or something like that. Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah.
And I remember my nan once washing that up and was drying it up and just like was doing it for ages because she was convinced it was still wet. Classic. That was around Christmas time as well. There's like a Christmas memory for me. She was round. She was helping with the drying up. We're just like, I can't get this dry.
Was she blazing as well?
She used to love a few tokes on the old Christmas zoo. We used to have this running joke that one of my friends, ground worker Steve, actually, we used to have this running joke that his nan was always on the weed. I don't know why. It'd always be like, she'd come in, would you like a zoot, Stephen? I've got a little zoot roll. Would you like? I don't know what accent I was supposed to be.
Yeah, it was like Mrs. Doyle from Father Ted.
Yeah, which that was what I was going for. She was little and Irish.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh. I think that worked.
Yeah. Well, what was yours, Tom? Are we moving on to yours, Tom? Have we had enough of cocaine?
Yeah, I was hoping to move on to yours, but we can go on to mine.
We can go to mine quick. Let's not save mine till last then.
All right, go on.
Well, mine is interesting. I just should have done more research. Not that I ever normally do this, but
that's your stick.
It's a Christmas tradition, yeah. Actually, to be fair,
last Christmas.
Yeah, I was going to say you weren't even here last Christmas. Last Christmas, I did a lot of research on my topic, and it was disproportionate to how much I should have done, really. Anyway, so I was just wanting to bring up a weird Christmas tradition that I read about. It's called the Mary Lude. I think that's how you pronounce it. Has anyone heard of this?
No.
So it's a Welsh tradition, and what they basically do is they get a horse, an actual horse's skull, and they put it and they make it like a hobby horse. Do you know what I mean? Like a hobby horse that you would.
Yeah.
So I'll send the link, and you'll be able to see some of the pictures. It's quite macabre, but a hobby horse would be you'd have as a kid, and it would be like a
horse's thing on a stick with a horse's head on.
Yeah.
There was loads of they were kids, but also their parents were just in a park in the city here, just hobby horsing. But they were 15, 16.
Is it? Oh.
I think it's a thing, isn't it? People or kids actually do it as a club.
I think it is a thing. Yeah, it is a niche thing that people are into. Horsing, yeah. Is it a sexual thing, do you think? Horsing. Yeah, I wonder what it's called.
Horsing. Horsing around,
Just horsing.
I thought it was just hobby horsing.
Yeah, I think it is I think you're right. It is a thing. But anyway, this is what they do is they make this thing that it's a fucking horse's skull, and they drape it in like a sheet, and then I think someone's kind of in it as well, like holding it so they can like move about, and they walk around and they basically knock on people's houses, and and they wassail. So you familiar with wassailing?
No.
Nope.
So wassailing.
Did you expect us to be?
Well, I don't know. Like I can't. It's funny when when you yourself know something and then you think like,
okay,
yeah, like I am familiar with wassailing, but it's probably because I'm.
Doesn't surprise me.
It's because I thought you might have been.
I don't know what it is yet.
Well, you might have been from Fobbin because it's like a folky thing.
Mate, you've just fucking doxed me. Doxed me.
Well,
Did you say because I'm from Fobbin, it's a folk thing?
Yeah, like
we don't live in like the 1830s.
Yeah, it feels like it though.
It does feel like it.
It's basically to like go from house to house, like singing. And I know like it happens around Christmas, but they also do it with like New Year's. The folk club people, they go out wassailing on like New Year's Eve. Well, maybe not New Year's Eve, but they do it around the New Year time. It's like what do you call them? Those guys do it. Morris dancers.
Okay.
I was going to say cockneys.
Yeah. The people I know that go Morris dancing, they go out wassailing. And it's like, I think it's sort of tied in with Christmas caroling. You go from house to house wassailing. It's like...
But what do you do when you're there? Like,
you sing. You either like sing songs or like, I think there are traditional like wassailing like songs. Or like
just annoying people, basically. That's it.
Yeah.
Just go around annoying the whole village.
Yeah, I guess, and I guess you like. Well, it's probably like start off with like a pagan thing.
I'm watching this video right in this article that you've linked, and it's from 1966, and I think they're talking Welsh, but they go up to this person's house with the hobby horse. No, actually, there's a person under there. Walk it, is there?
Yeah. So there's someone, and they drape it in like a cloth
under like a bed sheet.
Yeah.
With a horse's skull sticking out of it. The skull's got tinsel all over it.
That's it. And they do the eyes as baubles.
And then they sing on a doorstep for how long's that? A minute or so.
They wassail. They wassail on the doorstep.
They wassail on a doorstep. And then the person...
I think this might be the most times wassailing has been said in like a 5-minute period.
But then the person opens the door and lets the horse into the house.
That's part of the thing.
So and another man. So what's that all about?
Yeah, well, that's part of the tradition. So the tradition is you have to if you invite in the Mary Lude. So the Mary Lude is the name of the horse thing.
Okay,
Mary Lude. If you invite Mary in, then it's good luck for the year.
Okay.
So like apparently it directly translates to like grey Mary, which is like some people say is like either just like other people say it's kind of just like grey mare, like as in like horse. Other people say it's like there's one of this here. It says like some scholars have linked it to a legend connected to the nativity story. A pregnant horse sent out of the stables when Mary arrived to have Jesus. She spent dark days roaming the land trying to find somewhere to have new foal.
Don't buy that. She
got parred out. Like, but many people believe it's come from like pre-Christian pagan origins, which is probably way more likely.
It looks pretty pagan, doesn't it? It's pretty like menacing looking.
Yeah, I feel like generally like folky singing and wassailing is obviously it's all like pagan, isn't it? Like,
I want to go and film this next year. We should go film this.
I know. I was just thinking this is a good thing to go and
it's done. It says they do it between Christmas Day and the 12th night, which is that the 12th night after Christmas, I guess. So
Christmas Day is the first day of Christmas.
Okay, so then you've got.
Why'd you laugh at that? Like, I don't know. Like Tom didn't.
Because I thought you said something else.
Christmas Day is Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
They all get.
Sorry.
And here's a more modern video of it on that article as well. And they all dress up. There's a guy dressed as like a jester. There's a guy. I don't know what he's dressed as.
I love
it would be more scary if it was just the person under the sheet walking around
it would be,
the town, like just knocking on people's. Like, imagine being pissed up A couple of days after Christmas, wandering home. It's a bit of a misty evening.
Yeah, well, that must happen. Yeah.
At least there's other people with this, scary
Fucking
looking horse.
banshee
demon.
horse cunt. Yeah.
Yeah, but that'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah,
if it was just on its
that
own.
would be fucking horrible.
Yeah, especially it's like, it's kind of unnerving, like the way it moves, and
It is unnerving. Yeah, it's horrible.
Mm. I like
Because it doesn't move.
cool tradition.
Well, I guess it doesn't move like a. Well, sorry, that was a bit of wassailing for the fans at home. I could turn it down a bit and have a bit of singing of the wassailing. So they are all Morrised up as well. You can hear from the bells they're all Morrised up.
Oh yes, of course.
Certified Morris.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it doesn't they don't try and make it move like a horse, which I think adds to the weirdness of it, doesn't it? It's not like horse shaped. It's not just like a ghost horse. Yeah, it's like a humanoid, freaky fucking kill it with fire ghost horse head. Mary Lud.
The Mary.
I think the only
is
thing
well
that sort of
known.
lets down the image is that the sheet isn't quite long enough to cover the geezer's feet.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that lets it down. If
they should be on stilts as well, so that like you can't see.
Yeah.
They should be on stilts.
Yeah. It says
guy
that
here
Mary
looks
is
like he's
well known
holding-
to be mischievous, trying to steal things and chase people she likes as she goes about her bidding. So you might just be walking home from the pub and it just fucking comes after you.
Just does you, yeah. This guy looks like he's holding a wooden dildo, by the way.
That's what I was literally just about to say on the last picture on there.
Oh yeah,
That just makes- I
It
don't know.
even
It's
looks like he's got a
wooden
pair of
dildo.
bollocks.
Or like a
at
wooden
first
horse
glance.
cock. Maybe it's a wooden horse cock. Maybe that's part of the. One thing you just reminded me of. It's like walking home and then this cunt like scaring you. Well, I guess also that's a point. Like eventually they've got to walk home, so like the horse head guy's got to be walking home with a horse skull on him at some point.
Yeah.
Just on his own, but also, it's like zombie run things. Do you remember that was a bit of a craze for a while? Do you ever know?
People
I
just
never
all
fully
go out
understand
like
what it was.
as just in zombies. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there are people who go out and you'd like run away from zombies. There was some more element to it. Maybe you went to pubs and like I don't know, but or you had to. There was more of a end goal in mind. But it was things anyway. It was a thing that happened.
It was things.
It was things. There's a place in London called the Greenway. It's between like. It's in like East London somewhere. It's between like Stratford. Runs between like Stratford and West Ham. It's like
Yeah. I
or
think.
along there. It's like
Yeah.
pedestrianised bit. It's really good to walk on. But my mate used to live around there, and we were coming back one night, going to the train station, and we might have had a few reefers to add to the freakiness of it. But we came up and we just walked up to this path, like halfway up the path as well, joined it. To the middle of what I guess was going to be one of these zombie runs about to happen. But like we got like a better experience of it because we weren't expecting it, and there were people there, and they were obviously already in character, and they were kind of knew that we were freaked. They weren't like, "Don't worry, mate, it's a zombie run." Like they were like going, they were being all zombied, like, and obviously knew it was freaking us out. We're like, "What the fuck?" Like there's that split second of like, I know this is fucked up, but like. This is what would like if this was a zombie right now, I wouldn't believe this was a zombie. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like,
you just walk up to him, like,
I'd be like, look at this cunt. Just that's what happens in like Shaun of the Dead, isn't they? Like great costume, like it was like, and they knew we're jibbit, like because they like turned around and were like, like to scare us. Like there's obviously like practicing their bit. But yeah, it was only when we got to the end of all this. There's like quite a few of them about, like spread out, and then it was only when we got to the end of it we see that it's like a zombie run thing, and they're like, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, there's zombies up there. Like yeah, I know now. Anyway,
love it.
We need to go check out the Mary Lud next
Mary
year.
Lud.
Yeah, you bored Tom there. He yawned, mate.
Yeah.
Right, go on, Tom. You got 8 minutes to talk about yours, then I've got to go see Mushroom Head.
All right. So
for Christmas lunch.
Basically, I've just been looking at pathetic and poor Christmas trees in different town centres. I know we spoke about it a couple of years ago when there was, I don't know what town it was like Grimsby or something, where there was like
a little tiny one.
Yeah, a little tiny one. But I've got quite a few different articles here, and I'll chuck them all in. So there's one here from where is this? St Helens in Merseyside. People were left appalled after the sad-looking tree was put up in the town. Now, it's not because it's tiny. Sometimes they look sad because it's just a tiny tree, and it's usually like surrounded by some barriers so people can't vandalise the tree or whatever. But this one, I think it's basically just half dead, the tree, and falling to bits. And
this one just looks a bit chaotic, the first one you sent.
Yeah.
I love this. Residents have been left angry. I love the idea. I love the residents that are angry. How great are they? Like, properly pissed off about it. Like,
yeah, and that's part of what makes it, I think, more funny, is just how people probably do get, people who live in the town probably do get really upset about it. They're like, our tree sucks. This one as well in Dudley High. Is that the same place? Dudley High Street? No.
Looks like the same tree though, doesn't it?
It does. That's the thing. It looks like the same tree.
Maybe it's just been rented out for a week.
Yeah, they've
just
passed it around.
the whole way.
The people that get angry about this, they haven't been practicing. Is it ancestral tenant number 6? Like, fight where you like do something stressful to stress you out.
This is what's stressing them out, Rob.
This is what's stressing.
This one's good. So it's just a bush that's been decorated with beer cans becomes the town's unofficial Christmas tree. So
that one there, by the way, though, that one there is like planted in the ground almost. Like
the Dudley one.
Yeah, have they done that on, like, is that a hole that they leave for the Christmas tree every year or something like that?
I guess so, or maybe it had a different tree there or something, but they've managed to fit it in quite well.
It's confusing,
a dead tree, isn't it?
I do like the beer can Christmas tree though, that's good.
Yeah, so it's just obviously in the middle of like a little square. Where is it? A Lincolnshire town. It doesn't say
Stanford.
Oh, it is. That is Grimsby.
Yeah. Oh,
Some see it as a bit of harmless fun, but others believe it's giving Grimsby a bad name. So yeah, this is in Grimsby. It's clearly like the local hangout spot in the middle of town, and they've just covered it in beer cans and carrier bags and
that
bottles of energy drink or something. Made it the Christmas tree of the town.
Do you remember that Sacha Baron Cohen film, the Brothers Grimsby?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let him film it in Grimsby because it gave Grimsby a bad name.
No,
so they filmed it in Tilbury.
Tilbury, innit? Yeah.
And I remember a mutual acquaintance of ours was living there at the time, and went for a walk out, and I was with them, went for a walk, and we were just suddenly in a film set and didn't realise. But the best thing about it was that they'd dressed the set in some places with like old mattresses and shit that was out. But you couldn't tell whether that was just how it was.
Put on there or not, yeah.
Yeah, like, have they made that worse, or was it just like that? No disrespect to Tilbury. I'm sure there's some nice parts.
Yet to see him.
Yeah.
This one's in Basingstoke.
In my opinion.
Residents
in our opinion. Don't sue us.
Residents have criticised the pathetic Christmas tree.
What's wrong with that one? That one's all right.
I think it's just because it's tiny. I guess it's not. It's not tiny. Like if that was in your house, that would be a big Christmas tree.
Yeah,
but
mate.
It's because it's outside. You can see it next to the van.
I feel like it looks small because the fence is quite far away from it. If the fence was like a small fence, it would look bigger. It's like when you trim your bush to make Do
you find it offensive?
No, I like that tree.
I'm going with offensive.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
it was so bad. You didn't
I'm not punning.
I've only just got it.
I'm not at full pun strength at the moment.
But this is a great article. There's a link down the bottom. Wonky Town Christmas tree straightened. That's it. That's the article. Fuck me.
So apparently the reason why they chose a small tree in this town was because to ensure it did not impede CCTV views so that visitors and residents were safe.
Well, that's legit then. They got a reason.
We can't put it somewhere else.
It's also not even that small.
It's not that small. I think it's fair. Yeah,
I like that one.
Fuck the people cutting that one off.
I like that the rationale behind that is that if they put up a tree too big, criminals will start hanging out there because they know it is a CCTV dead spot. Start mugging people in the 5 foot of dead spot where a fucking Christmas tree is.
We can get away with it here. Stealing the presents from under the tree, maybe.
And they've got a police van parked right there. So what's the problem?
Yeah, that's true.
I saw a thing that recently that was like, I'm going to start doing this every year. It was like, people like share like a meme thing. and it was like. It was like when my kids misbehave, this is what I do. Like, well, near Christmas, this is what I do, and they run in like dressed as the Grinch, and like
I've seen
steal
people
the
doing
presents from under the tree, and like fuck, that's fucking traumatizing.
Kids get freaked out, because they won't even do it. Oh, who's coming through the door? The Grinch will just like kick open the front door. And be like, I'm grabbing your presents.
It's funny as fuck.
They are
really
good videos.
cool.
It's funny seeing different kids' reactions because some of them obviously just like scream, they're freaking out. Some of them are like frozen there, not knowing what to do. They're looking at their parents like, is this okay? And then I've seen some of them where they're like, you leave us alone. Like,
Take my presents. Do you remember those mean videos as well? These are also traumatizing where like they give a kid an Xbox box and you open it up and it's got like a pair of pants in it or something. They're like, we can't afford an Xbox. What do you think it's a fucking Xbox for? Like, that's fucking cruel, man.
Yeah, I remember Jimmy Kimmel, I think it was, done this thing every year where you basically film your kids coming down Christmas morning and just tell them there isn't any presents. Or,
yeah,
and
he's a prick.
See what their reactions are, and
in my opinion,
or they'd give their kid just like a shit present. They'd give them like an apple, or they'd give them just like a pair of socks. But that's it for this year, and see what their kids' reactions are. And it's like such a
they do like stealing their candy at New Year's, Halloween as well, didn't they?
That's one, yeah. Oh yeah, I ate all your candy last night.
Yeah.
And you get obviously different reactions from the kids, and it is entertaining to watch still. But then it's also like, I feel like if I had a kid, I couldn't do that.
It's kind of traumatizing.
Even though afterwards you're gonna be like, not really, and like they'll have a laugh about it. But I don't know, I'd still feel too bad doing it.
Yeah, it does feel mean.
I think I probably would. I would do the. Like empty box. I probably wouldn't say it's a PlayStation or whatever, but I'd have like a massive box, like a massive present wrapped up, and then inside that there's a smaller box, inside that a smaller box, and eventually there's just something this big. That'd be quite funny, I think. I'd be well behind doing something like that, as long as that isn't the kid's only present, obviously. But that would be quite funny.
Well, there's this massive box under the tree for weeks. And
weeks and weeks and weeks. And you've got weights, you weight it somehow so it doesn't just feel like an empty box.
Oh, that'd be good though. And you open it, and in the end, it's a USB stick. And on the USB stick is just a photo of that guy with a dick. I want to do that now. I want to give that to me mate as a present for you. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that to one of the lads. They don't fucking listen, do they, my mates?
I thought they were the only people that did listen.
Some of them.
Okay, no. Speaking of Christmas trees, so we bought our Christmas tree recently, and Lynn went a bit overboard, so it's fucking massive. Like, it's just enormous. It's huge. And but the little base thing that we had from last year obviously isn't big enough for this bigger Christmas tree. But anyway, I just put it on, screwed it on, put it in the living room, put the decorations on. Looks great. Looks fucking mental. It looks like one out of Home Alone or something. Anyway, go to bed. Next morning, I wake up. Lynn's already gone to work. Wake up, get out of bed, have a shower, whatever, and then I go into the living room. And when you go in somewhere, you're like, something's changed in here. I can't figure out what it is. At first, I didn't clock, and I looked to my left, and the tree had just fucking fallen over. Baubles smashed everywhere.
No.
And I was looking at it, and the light's wrong because Lynn had put the lights on before she left. I looked at it and I thought, I've never seen such a sad sight in my life. Like, have you ever seen a Christmas tree on its side with all the Christmas decorations and shit?
That is
it's really sad. It's like Christmas was over. That's why when my my joy with Christmas.
It's like a metaphor, isn't it, for something?
Yeah.
We've actually got a ridiculously
I had to clean it all up, and now I've fucking tied the Christmas tree to one of the doors in our living room.
That's
so
good.
It's being supported by the door, so it might rip the whole fucking side of the building down if it goes again.
We've got the opposite of that. I'll send you guys a photo. We've got a really small Christmas tree that we just bought from Morrison's for tenner. It's just
gets the job done.
Does get the job done, and it already came with lights already on it.
Oh, nice. Whoa. Easy.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Yeah. All right, I've got to fucking wrap up. Give us one more tree, Tom.
I was just going to talk about the Trafalgar Square Christmas tree. Every year, there's that big tree in Trafalgar Square, and I think a lot of people know that it comes from Norway, and I think it dates back to the war where I I don't know, to say thanks for like
We
saving them
fucking
during the
helped 'em
war or whatever. Yeah, they give us
Yeah,
a
we
tree
helped 'em
every
out.
year, and so it's it gets chopped down from some Norwegian forest, gets shipped over. It's a nice gesture, but quite often it just looks a bit pathetic. Like if you just Google, maybe not so much in that article. That one actually looks alright, I think. Like Trafalgar Square.
One of the
Tree.
ones you've sent here does look pretty mental. Like the Twitter link, it's quite thin.
Yeah,
Quite
and I think that's
gangly.
because it's how they actually look in the forest a lot of times. Like they're
Right, that's like
the
legit
big
tree,
bushy
yeah.
ones that we get are sort of purpose built for
Selectively
Christmas.
bred, yeah.
Whereas these ones that Norway send us,
Purpose-built.
purpose grown, I guess. Yeah. Well, sometimes they are. Sometimes they're fake trees, aren't they?
Yeah, true. That is true. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But then, yeah, some of them, I think because this one does just come straight from a forest somewhere, it doesn't look as great. And I don't
know
like
though. Yeah, no, there's a good picture here that was like, judging by the photos of the Trafalgar Square Christmas tree being felled last week in Norway and arriving today, it's being transported as hand luggage on Ryanair because it looks really good at first, and then afterwards it looks like shit. So
Yeah.
maybe
How
it is
do
more of a
they transport
transporter
it, do you think?
on a fucking lorry, I suppose. Just bung it on a lorry.
Yeah.
True. Hadn't
Yeah.
thought of that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this one, especially when it's backlit and all the lights coming through it, it looks a bit more pathetic. But I don't like the way they decorate it. They don't decorate it like an actual
Straight down. huh?
tree. Where well, I guess it's still a tree. They don't decorate it like a typical Christmas tree where they've got baubles, tinsel, lights sort of all over the place. They just have strands of lights hanging from it, and I guess it's
Maybe that's a traditional thing as well.
it's
though.
probably traditional. It's probably just how they decorated it fucking 70 years ago or something. But
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Looks like shit.
Yeah.
It looks like
Yeah.
Well, that's a Christmas opinion right there for you.
And the article there. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's the official opinion of the Curios Cast. That is our official stance.
Yeah. I like in the headline,
Hardline.
it says, "The tree leaves Londoners joking. Why does Norway hate us so much?" But yeah, it's a
Leaves
nice
them.
gesture. Thank you, Norway.
Thank you, Norway. Yeah, big up Norway.
We'll
I
keep
approve.
accepting your pathetic trees.
All right. I think on that note, on that Christmas bombshell,
Hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas season.
yeah, lots of wassailing.
Holiday season.
Me,
And holiday season. If you don't celebrate Christmas, whatever.
Happy
holiday you
holidays,
are
yeah.
celebrating.
me and George will be out wassailing together, won't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I might be. I'm back in fobbing over Christmas.
Well,
so
there
I
you
might
go.
be
Let's
out.
wassail.
Yeah, I'll come and have a wassail.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hype.
I
I
had
haven't got a horse
Hanukkah
skull, though,
bagels the other
so
day.
we'll have to find one of those.
You don't have to
There's
have a
probably a
horse sale. You don't have to have a horse skull to wassail. You just got to be
I
a.
know, but there'll be a horse skull somewhere in Fob. So
Yeah, there will be.
be
Actually.
fine.
That
All
was
right.
episode 94 of the Curios Cast. We'll see you in the new year.
Peace.
Ho, ho, ho.